Welcome back to YachtLens, where it is our job to get you aboard the most distinctive yachts in the world, and we are doing that today. We are getting aboard Grato, an absolutely stunning Selene 60 Ocean Explorer here at the Anacortes TrawlerFest. This one will take your breath away. We are more than fortunate to have with us Selene Yachts President Wayne Goldman to guide us through, and when we get down to the engine room, we'll be joined by Selene Chief's Engineer Dylan Hildebrand, who will explain all the technical systems of this remarkable ship. We're excited. Wayne, take it away.
Glad to have you aboard with us, Rick. We're going to show you around this beautiful yacht. This boat lives up in Ladysmith, up in Canada, and the owner is gracious enough to let us show it. So come on aboard. Let's go see Grato.
Let's do it.
One of the things that you'll notice about Selene's, and this boat in particular, is all of our beautiful outdoor space. Starting back here with a nice big settee that will seat 3 to 4, and all the other spaces. So we're going to take you through the boat, and you can see all the outdoor spaces as well as the interior. You'll notice on this boat, it is a wide body. So we call it asymmetrical, or wide body to port. So there's no deck on the port side. Well, on the starboard side, there is a full walk-around deck with really high bulwarks. Also notice on the railings here, these are oval railings, really comfortable to hold on to. And we have side gate back in the cockpit that opens inward. So if you don't lock it, you're not gonna fall out. Another nice feature is our hawse pipes with cleats on it. And a really cool feature I'm going to show you right here is our fender clips. So this is a way to adjust your fenders without having to tie it around a rail. Put your fender down and then adjust it. There you go.
That's fantastic.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Really sweet. Other features back here in the cockpit, we have a little cabinet here with drawers and opening door, and then on this side we have stairs up to the Flybridge. Let's go inside. We're in the Salon on Grato. This is an Ocean Explorer, and one of the things you'll notice in this design is how wide open it is and how big the windows are. So when you're looking around here, everywhere you look, 360 degrees, you've got windows. And you have this air of just this huge spaciousness. It's just tremendous. And first time I walked on an Ocean Explorer and walked in after being on a Classic, it was like being on a totally different boat and totally different experience. And I think that's one of the really big things about our Ocean Explorer line is how open these boats are.
It's the first thing that strikes you as you come in here, and it's just, the light is everywhere.
It's tremendous. And then the other thing you'll notice as we're going through this walkthrough, the fit and finish is just beautiful. The headliner with all the details in the headliner, it's just top quality. All of the solid teak corners on the boat, the teak floors, teak plank floors. On these Ocean Explorers, they're more contemporary. So we don't have teak and holly on the floor. We have just teak planks, which really makes it more modern and contemporary. Looks really nice.
It is exquisite. The craftsmanship is apparent everywhere you look. Obligatory wine fridge right there.
Obligatory wine fridge. We have a dining room table here that seats 6. You can actually get another chair up here from down below. We get 7 or even 8 around this table if you wanted to, with great views. This is all customizable as well. This owner has decided that he wanted storage on this side with a pop-up TV, which is right behind here. You can also get a settee here, or seating, or different cabinetry. So really customizable. And all the recessed lighting around, you'll see at night when you turn the main lights off and you have the recessed lighting, really gives you a feel of comfort in here and lights it up pretty well. Notice looking forward with all the wide openness, those stairs going up to the Flybridge are open, so you can still see through there and keeps that openness. I'm standing in the galley up, looking down into the salon. So when you're up here cooking, you're still part of the party that's going on down in the salon. One of the things I really like about Galley Up is if I'm on a night watch and we're short-handed and I want a cup of coffee or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I can come back here and work and still be on watch. So it's really nice. It's one of my favorites. And in the galley, we have a nice big single sink. There is a choice to get double sink as well. An induction, 4-burner induction stove. And we're doing a lot of that lately with lithium banks, so you can actually cook without running your generator.
That's fantastic.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
And then on this side, we have a set of freezer drawers and a set of fridge drawers. Down below, you'll see we have another freezer down below. And dishwasher.
And the countertops are?
Real marble. Owner gets a choice. We use quartz or granite, whatever the owner desires. And then moving forward to the pilot house, the helm seat is a stid, and that's a choice for our owners. And you get great visibility up here. Easily see the bow of the boat. I can see my back corners. It's really easy to be on watch up here. Reverse rake windows, which are a huge benefit if you're cruising at night. You can actually see out. So on this boat, we have Garmin equipment. This boat was done in 2022. Since that time, we've pretty much standardized on Furuno. And what we try to do is simplify the layout. The first layer is all controls. From this side, of course, that's your throttle, ABT track, thrusters in their variable speed, and it's hydraulic. And then this is a hydraulic get home. So we'll see that down the engine room. Stabilizers, all the information for Victron right here. We're looking at tank levels. And then the Maxwell chain counters. This does have twin winches on it. VHF radio, and then your autopilot. So this is all your controls on this level. The next level is your charting and depth as well as cameras. And then over here we have the chart up. One of the things we try to do here is have repeaters up on our Flybridge. So when you go between the Flybridge and the pilot house, you're going to see the same thing up on the Flybridge that you see here. And it's controllable up there as well. Yeah, we're trying to make it easy for the owners of these boats. So we're trying to simplify the complicated parts.
Well done.
And then last but not least, in the pilot house, on the port side, there's a little settee here. It can seat 3 people. So if you got some people hanging out with you, they got a nice little settee up here. A galley down, this area back here is a big settee. On this boat, the electrical panel is right on the front side of the galley. In future boats, we're splitting this up a little bit to make it a little more simple. So all the navigation controls, switches, breakers will be up in the pilot house rather than down here. And then also moving some of this down below to free up some space for storage up here. Show you the wiring behind here. Beautifully done. So even though this is a wide body, we still have 2 doors at the pilot house, and they are French doors, so you can open up half of it, which is really nice. Yeah. You get some airflow in here. Especially if you have a dog, these boats are great for dogs. So if you want to keep your dog inside, you can just open the top, get some airflow. Or with the Portuguese bridge, your dog can run around and you can be sure that that dog is safe. We're going to take you up to the Flybridge next, and you got this really beautiful wood railing, and you'll see that throughout the boat. The railings they do is just incredible fit and finish on these railings. I'm going to open up the hatch, sliding stainless hatch that we build at the factory.
I love that hatch.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Yeah, it is.
It's really easy to open. This is another one of those outdoor spaces that's so special on this boat. The settee and table here seats probably 6 to 8 easily, and you have great views.
Yeah, you do. This is the place to be.
This is really the place to be, yeah. You got the hard top. This boat does not have an enclosure on it. You could put an enclosure on it. However, what we find is people like to have this open, so when it's nice out, you're up here enjoying being outside, and when it's not nice out, you're down in the Pilothouse, which is nice and warm and protected, and you're drinking your coffee. This is all on one level up here, and the back deck is only 2 steps down, so there aren't a lot of steps up and down to get onto the Flybridge or around the Flybridge. Looking forward at the Helm on the Flybridge, we have 2 Helm chairs. These are Helm chairs built and designed by Selene. They're really comfortable and they're really beautiful. They have 26 to 28 coats of varnish.
Wow.
So it's just like looking at a mirror almost. The Helm up here, we have 2 repeaters up here. I had mentioned that they repeat what's down in the Pilothouse, and then all your controls, except for your get home. Your get home drive is only down at the lower Helm. Good visibility. Sitting in these chairs, you can actually see the bow of the boat.
Yeah. Outstanding visibility. A great view of our Pacific Northwest day.
Great view of our gray. It's really nice. And we're going to go down to the lower deck, down the staircase. This staircase goes down to the staterooms. There is another set of stairs that goes down to the master stateroom and the engine room from the back. We'll show you that later. We're down to the lower level. This is the stateroom level, and I'm standing in the doorway to the VIP stateroom. And if you come forward, we'll show you the VIP. It is a full-size queen, and lots of headroom. You can see, you know, I'm 5'8", so the headroom's probably, probably close to 7, 6, 8, 7. Again, all the beautiful woodwork on the boat and the fit and finish. Up here, you can see these are storm covers on the port lights. They happen to be closed because somebody was sleeping in the bed last night and wanted it dark in here. And then there's a hatch above the bed. It is an emergency escape with a ladder. It's got a TV over here. And this is all, again, customizable. So some people put shelving over here. Some people put TV, but it's all customizable. And again, the recessed lighting.
Yeah.
You do have access to the head from the VIP stateroom. There's also a door that goes out into the hallway. So you can access the head this way. Separate shower, nice size separate shower.
Big shower.
The floors and the sink countertop are quartz. The walls in the shower are fiberglass.
But same fit and finish everywhere you go.
Same fit and finish. Okay, let's go to the guest stateroom. Third stateroom. I'm in the third stateroom, which is, again, and you'll hear me say it over and over again, customizable. This decision for this stateroom was 2 bunk beds, and the upper bunk bed that expands, so you get a really nice size bed up there, as well as a good sized bed below. They're bigger than twins.
Yeah, they are.
So there's good room. And then behind me is a desk. with a Selene chair. So this is a Howard Chen designed chair built by Selene. And then storage. And one of the things you'll notice with Selene's, there's storage everywhere.
Yeah, there is.
If there's a space, there's an access to it. And then behind the door, come on in, Rick. Nice heavy doors with quality hardware on them. And then behind me is, guess what? More storage. Cedar line closet, hanging locker. And then up above is more storage. Okay, let's go to the master stateroom. I'm in the master stateroom, owner stateroom, and it is glorious. So you'll notice, first off, it's full width. You have this huge stateroom with these huge windows on both sides. So when you're in this room, you don't feel confined at all. It's just
not at all
open and beautiful, and there's a lot of white that I had mentioned before. You'll see that brightens this up, and recessed lighting up above. You'll see it around the edges. The fit and finish, the details, it's just really incredible.
Absolutely stunning. And let's talk storage.
Let's talk storage, yeah. We counted the number of storage spaces and went through every drawer and cabinet in the master stateroom. 38. Wow. 38 in the master stateroom. I mean, alone right over there is 9.
Yeah.
And you see these drawers, and you look at the quality of the drawers and how they're built. All the drawers are dovetail. So there's no staples or nails in this boat. It's all just high-level carpentry. Shelving. Some people put TVs here. I think this one has a TV on that side. This owner liked the use of mirrors to make the space look even bigger.
What is the beam?
Beam on this boat is 1710. So in this stateroom, you see that beam.
Oh, you feel it. I mean, honestly, it feels bigger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The windows make it feel bigger.
Yeah.
And then down here, we'll go down into the master head. Now we're in the master head. The owner selected quartz for the material here, and this is floors, countertop, and walls of quartz. We use Tecma heads that are the best in the world. And then in the shower, it's huge. You got a rain shower here as well as a hand shower.
Sorry, I keep catching you in the shower.
Yeah, good thing I got my clothes on. One of the things that you don't see, but I'm going to point out, that's really a unique feature of Selene's is the master stateroom is separated from the engine room by this space here. So you have this sound deadening wall that's about that thick, and then you have this space with these solid wood doors. So the sound of the engines are indiscernible when you're in the master stateroom. We'll go around this side and into our little utility area. On the right are the stairs back up to the salon, and we'll go back up there when we're done here. But you come down here into the utility area and full-size washer and dryers. And we size the openings to make sure that you can get these washer and dryers out if you ever have to replace them, which you will at some point. And behind here, behind the door, this is a soundproof engine room door with a window. Behind here is more storage.
Why wouldn't you?
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Behind me is another door, and behind this door is Vanna White.
Come on now,
You can tell how old I am.
Yeah.
This is an electrical room, and also you can see the stabilizer here. We put a glass cover on it so you can actually see the stabilizer. But yeah, this is all electrical room here.
But again, just so nicely laid out,
simplistic,
Yeah.
but everything is accessible.
Yeah. And even this door here, and look at the thickness of the door.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you into our engine room and introduce you to our technical director, Dylan Hildebrand. Hey, Dylan, what
Hey,
are you
guys.
doing in the engine room?
Just hanging out. Come on
hanging
in.
out in the engine room.
Welcome to the
All
engine
right,
room.
let's see if we can squeeze both you and me in the engine
I'm
room.
going to go to the other side, but it's pretty easy.
All right.
So this is a stand-up engine room. This is powered by a single John Deere 6090, 425 horsepower. Yeah, this is the M3 rating for this boat, which gives us a 1500 RPM cruise at 7 knots and a 1750 RPM cruise at 8 knots, a little over 8 knots.
What's the range on the boat?
The range is over 3,000 nautical miles. Always, obviously, depending on how fast you're, but 3,000 at 7 knots. It's pretty easy. We have behind me, there's a great big fuel tank and a fuel polishing system. This boat's fitted with the ABT track stabilizers. So this is a hydraulic boat, hydraulic fins and hydraulic stabilizers. Fuel polishing systems here, which is the reverse of the standard on every boat. You can see there's lots of fuel filters. So all the fuel filters for the boat, this is the generator and down there is the main engine. They're all double fuel filters, run one at a time. Fuel transfer manifolds on the front bulkhead.
Got headroom. You can
Yeah.
stand up.
It's real easy.
Yeah, so I'm 5'8", as I mentioned before. You can see I have a little bit of room here, but
Yeah.
down here you pick up probably 4 or 5 inches. Even if you're 6'6", which we do have some
Yeah.
owners that are 6'6",
And our
they
54,
can get around pretty
our
easily.
54 has got a stand-up engine room for Paul, who's, how tall is Paul?
6'2".
6'2" at the front of the engine room, but this engine room has engine room boards. The 54, we actually go right to the bilge and put the finishing on the bilge. So you're standing
Pick up
a
extra,
little taller.
extra space.
Yeah,
You're customizable right down to.
right down to how high we, yeah. So 60-40, so this is 60-45, so it's 60-foot hull, and this is the 45th one built. 48 is just getting ready to ship, and the owner of that boat's a very big guy. So we customized all the heights of these to make it so it was better for him to move around. So the rest in this boat, there's a water maker over on this side. These are the battery boxes for the starting batteries. And as you've seen, the boats are mostly Victron, so we're putting as much Victron componentry as we can. The new boats are all with Victron batteries. This one has Reliant. It was probably the last Reliant battery boat we did. But now we're using the Victron NG batteries and all the Victron Link system and their BMS.
What are these, Dylan?
These are the fuel sight gauges.
These are really cool.
So we use a magnetic float. So inside that big silver tube is fuel, and there's a magnetic float that floats upside down, and it triggers these little, people call them chiclets, triggers these little red chiclets as it goes up and down, which will show you the fuel level.
So you can see the fuel level on this one is right about here.
Yep.
On this tank. On this tank, it's a little lower. We're using that to balance the boat because we have a really heavy dinghy on the boat, but we can balance it by moving fuel around. It's really simple for us to do that. So now we have analog fuel gauges that are really accurate.
Yeah,
And then when you
so-
come down and do your engine checks, it's really easy
Right
to
there.
see your fuel levels.
So the new boats, newer than this one, pretty well everything from 45 forward has actually a sender on there as well where we can set level alarms. So right next to them, you'll see there's a bar, and all the new boats just welded onto it with little level alarms that slide upside down, and they're actually triggered by that same float. There's a little reed switch, and that lets the user then decide where they want the level alarm. And it's we can set the level alarm digitally. So there's a digital gauge in each one of the tanks that goes into Maritron, so we can do that. But if you want to set a really, I'm going to use the word dumb, but if you want to set a dumb alarm that's basically foolproof, we actually slide these little sliders up and down, and that'll ring an alarm in the bridge.
Dylan, you mentioned Maritron. What are we doing with Maritron?
So we're doing a lot with Maritron. We like Maritron because it's easy to fix and it's available anywhere in the world. So we looked at all the manufacturers and thought the Maritron was just by far the most recognized and the biggest one, the biggest player. And they're all, it's component based, so it's really easy to upgrade the system or downgrade the system. But the boats are fitted now. Bilges are all monitored by Maritron. Smoke alarms in all the cabins and electrical spaces. Shafts, we're monitoring the shaft temperature. We're monitoring the exhaust temperature on all the boats.
Tankage volume.
And then tank volumes and levels. So that's our basic Maritron monitoring package on all the new boats. And then, of course, it's really easy to add more. So adding engines into that with a bridge, we'll pull all the engine data in. And then we're also pulling all the Victron data into Maritron. So it's all available for the user.
And then what does that give the user other than being able to monitor those things that we give them in addition?
Yeah, so our philosophy is we believe the boat should alarm before it breaks. And we're trying to make the boats, yeah, our other philosophy is that we want very little user intervention for the boats. The boats should manage themselves. So those are two great things, but we also want to be able to dial into the boat. So when you have a problem, I want to be able to get into the boat and find out what it is. It just saves so much time being able to remote dial into a boat. And you've got owners who are, have been through something stressful. They're probably having a little bit of anxiety or panic still, and being able to actually look at a screen that's real time and see the data, it just saves so much time troubleshooting. As long as we have a Starlink connection or some kind of an upload, I can get on the boat. And then we're fitting vessel data recorders as well, so we can record the data.
So an owner, if they have a problem, they can call Dylan or text them or email him wherever they are, and Dylan can see information about the boat and give them ideas of what they need to do to take care of any issues they have.
Absolutely.
And then a lot of that will also ring alarms on the actual owner's phone. So we're using Victron a lot for that. Victron's got a free app. So we're tying in the bilge alarms, a general alarm, and the fire alarms and door alarms all into Maritron because we have into Victron because we have 4 digital ins. And that'll show up on your phone as an alarm. Like right now on my boat at home, the freezer's too hot, so the ice cream's melting. And I can't shut that alarm off. But anyway.
Every 5 minutes on your phone.
The door seals are worn out. But it's really nice so before I go to sleep, I check the whole fleet on that and make sure all the green across support, and it's easy to go to sleep. But it's really nice to have this, and especially for owners who leave your boat, right? You leave your boat for 6 months in the winter or something. Sure, it's getting checked, but it's really nice to just be able to open your phone up and there's no alarms, right? My boat's plugged into shore power, my batteries are fine, all the bilges are fine, there's no fire. Sure. This is good information. So I would sleep better with it. Yeah, so what else do we have in here? We have a 25 kilowatt John Deere generator. So most of our boats in this size are singles. When we hit 66 feet, we tend to start doing a mix of singles and twins. And above that, they're all twins. But on the 60s, 54s, most of these size boats are singles. So then how do you get home? We have a get home drive. So that big hydraulic pump, and this is all from ABT on this boat, that big hydraulic pump powers this great big box down here, which is our get home drive. So we get a little over 4 knots on this boat in get home mode. So main engine off, we're still turning the main shaft. And it's a really very easy way to drive the boat. And from upstairs, the operation of that is really, it's all done on the Pilothouse. So you reach over and turn the generator on. Then you go to the ABT track, there's a touch screen, you turn the hydraulic pump on, you engage that hydraulic pump. And then as long as this is off or in neutral, you can turn a key to enable this, hit the green button. And as soon as the green button stops flashing and actually goes solid green, there's a throttle, you just push the throttle forward and you're back in business, you're back in gear and driving. It's really fast. I actually cheat with this boat. So when I drive this boat myself, I set a fender off to start us in a boathouse. And I'll bring the boat into the boathouse and then engage the get home drive and put it in reverse. And it just holds the boat against the dock. Wow. And then I can do all the lines. And I got, nothing's going to happen. With the big engine in reverse, it's probably okay, but it's a lot of power. Sure. So this gives me, a really controlled, easy way to run the boat.
It's just the redundancy, everything.
Yeah.
It's almost like you guys have done this before.
We've done it a few times. We sold close to 500 boats.
Yeah. And our philosophy is no single point of failure, right? So these boats don't have single point failures. So we're working, trying to reduce single point failures. The only single point on this is the main shaft, right? And that's really hard to stop a 3-inch shaft. You've got to really work at it. So.
Dylan, what's that oval shape there on the wall?
That's the tank clean out. So we can actually get into the tanks, climb around and clean them if you ever had to get into them. This is one of the last boat with aluminum tanks. All the new boats, the tanks are FRP and they're actually part of the hull, so they're solid glassed in.
So that's a clean out port.
That's a clean out.
If you needed to get into the tank, you can take that off.
It's a regulation size manhole to get into the tank. And then inside the tank, there are a bunch of dividers to keep the tanks from swashing around. But inside the dividers, we have regulation manholes where a human of reasonable size and get. I can get through them. And then the tanks in the boat. So we fit stainless steel water tanks, and the rest of the tanks are FRP. So the water tanks in this boat forward, there's 2 water tanks, one all the way forward, one underneath the owner's bed. Those are FRP, and then there's 2 really large
No,
waste
water
tanks.
tanks are stainless.
Yeah, water tanks are stainless always. We won't build an FRP water tank because they just have a taste. You can never. I've tried with every coating known that I can find, and you still end up with this taste. And then the new boats for day tanks on the 62 are fitting stainless steel day tanks on the front of the engine bulkhead, but the wastewater tanks are FRP.
So both the gray water and the black water.
Gray and black are FRP, yeah.
Yep.
And they're put in really early at the factory. They're some of the first things we put into the tank. So the hull comes out of the mold. We put all the bulkheads in, and right after the tanks go in.
And 2,000 gallons of fuel.
This boat has 2,000 gallons of fuel.
2 tanks.
2 tanks, that 1,000, 1,000 here. And then the new boats, we're doing most of them with day tanks. We'll have another 100 gallons of fuel for the day tank, roughly.
And we're doing the day tanks to make it simpler and better.
Yeah,
and
for day tanks
safer.
are not necessary on a lot of boats. I mean, if you're going to just be running coastwise up the coast of America or Canada, that's good fuel. It's when you start going to places that are harder that we lose control of fuel. And the problem with that is even though the boats are all fit with polishing systems, as soon as you bunker into that tank, you've lost control of what's in the tank. So we want to make sure you always have clean fuel going to the engines.
So with the day tanks, we filter all the fuel going into the day tank.
Yeah, it's impossible to fill the day tank not through a filter.
Right.
So if you imagine this boat, if that front bulkhead had a day tank, the normal weight into the day tank is through the fuel purifying system. That's normal through those same gauges, so it'll be automatic fill. And then if that fails for whatever reason, we've got a small pump that will fill it, but through a filter, and there's also a gravity fill that will fill it through a filter. We don't want single point failures, they don't exist. And then we set the day tank size in the new boats is set to be an 8-hour tank at regular high cruising RPM. Not full speed, but your regular high cruise. And we set 8 hours because typically you're running a 4-hour watch. Yeah, and then behind you there are the 2 Victron inverters, so that's pretty typical for the boat. There's 2 5-kilowatt inverters on this boat. Fireboy fire extinguisher, water heaters. The new boats have the water heaters under the stairs because we had a void. And we operate on this real estate principle of high value and low value real estate and how often you have to touch something. And I don't know, if you play with your hot water tank a lot, you're probably doing something wrong. So the new ones live underneath the staircase with enough room to actually get the anode out, which we made sure because we pulled the anode out, so there's enough room.
All right, let's go into the Lazarette. So this is your Lazarette. If you look around, you can see, again, the fit and finish on this boat is incredible. Now, when this owner decided to build the boat, he decided he wanted a crew cabin back here. So it's totally fitted out. There's a bed over here and trash compactor, 2-drawer freezer, and then behind you is a head. Now, these boats are a little tight in the Lazarette for a crew cabin. In fact, we generally recommend not to do a crew cabin. If you really need a crew cabin, we're probably putting you in a 62 or 64.
Yeah, but on this boat he has grandkids and they love it.
Yeah,
It's
so the grandkids
it's
come
fantastic,
back here.
right?
And,
The other thing you hear running, so the boats were fitting Webasto chilled water systems to the boats. So the noise you hear in the background is the Webasto system running, and it doesn't get much louder than this. It's running, we got a lot of heaters on, so it's running.
diesel heaters.
No, right now we're doing reverse cycle.
We're doing reverse cycle.
So
you can do either one.
you can go either way.
Reverse
So
cycle or diesel.
Yeah, so we end up using it as a heat pump in the Pacific Northwest. But the two pipes run throughout the boat. They're insulated pipes. We run hot or cold water to all the different air handlers. And we can do that for heat. We can do it reverse cycle, which is really efficient and works down to most of the winter, except the super cold period in the Northwest. And then we have a diesel heater as well that can heat that same system when you want to change over to diesel heat mode. And it's a real simple changeover. It's that touchscreen back there. You just change one operating mode and everything changes.
So behind me are toolkits, Milwaukee tools and hand tools. And then below that is our steering gear. And this is redundant, backed up redundant steering gear. We're fitting something a little bit different now.
Yeah, so this
on our
system's
boats?
not available. We're fitting the Optimus system on the boat now, and we're fitting a full second redundant, or fitting the biggest one that Optimus makes. And all the boats have a 2-ram system with the second ram being completely redundant. It's just along for the ride until you need it. Emergency steering is really important, but the idea of being back here with a bar and steering the boat with a crew of 2 across the Atlantic is frankly untenable. That's just not going to happen. So the new boats, we actually have a really simple toggle switch in the bridge that you steer left, right with the secondary steering system. It's as simple as I can make it. It's a set of Hella relays and a Carling switch.
Wow.
I went and found like simple. So the boat isn't going to steer great. It's not as nice as having an autopilot, but you're going to go home with a system that is as simple as we can make. We think that for emergency steering is a lot more useful than having somebody back here with a 2-foot bar pulling back and forth.
Somehow that makes sense.
It somehow makes sense. The end of the Lazarette, of course, is a fully watertight door,
And a
heavy
draft
duty door that cantilevers out to access the swim platform. I'm standing in the doorway to the master stateroom, and one of the things I want to point out is this pocket door. Nice, beautiful pocket door that's the same thickness and quality as our other doors. Yeah. And then we're going to go up the back set of stairs that goes up to the salon. So these stairs come down, gives you access to the master stateroom, the utility room, as well as the engine room. So if you've got somebody sleeping in the master stateroom, you're underway, you're sleeping, and you need to do an engine room check, you don't have to go through the master stateroom. You can come down these stairs and right into the engine room. So follow me up, we'll go up to the salon. Again, this is a wide body, so single side deck to starboard side. And then we're going to go up the Portuguese bridge, and then we'll take you out on the bow and show you the anchoring system and the settee that we have up there. So follow me. Okay, we're up here on the Portuguese bridge. This is a great spot, really safe. Have the door closed. We do have doors on either side on the Portuguese bridge. But this gives you a full walk around in front of the reverse rake windows. Nice view up here and nice and safe. And again, if you have a dog, the dog is really safe. It can be blocked in and can't go anywhere. Portuguese bridge does go to both sides of the Pilothouse. You can come out of the Pilothouse if you're at the helm on either side. Look down the side of your boat if you need to.
Incredibly high.
Yeah,
Those are
really
just
high bulwarks,
secure.
really safe boat. So not only the bulwarks high, but you also have these oval handrails, really safe. So we're going to go out. We'll go out from this side. I'm on the foredeck of the Selene 60 Ocean Explorer. We have a really nice settee up here with a table that can drop down, filled in with cushions, so you have a nice sun deck up here for relaxing, hanging out, and having breakfast or dinner. This is the hatch that goes down into the forward stateroom with the emergency ladder for an emergency escape. And this is traditional, typical Selene. Samson post, we put it on every one of our boats. Really nice feature. Not only does it look cool, but it's functional. This boat has a Maxwell with a rope gypsy on top and then 2 chain gypsies with 2 ultra anchors. They're both big. This is 60 kilograms. That one's 80 kilograms, I think. So huge anchoring systems, really easy to operate. There's foot switches here as well as remote that you can use.
As you look aft, you can just see the lines of this boat that are it's just beautiful.
And then here's access down to your chain locker. There's some shelving in here. And again, you look at the fit and finish, even on these covers, really super heavy duty, super beautiful. Over here, it's fresh and saltwater washdowns. And on our new boats, we're putting saltwater washdowns out front that's fixed. that cleans the chain as it comes up before it even gets up here.
Everything thought through.
Well, Howard's been doing it for a long time. So he's seen things that does not work, and he's seen things that do work, and we're just really focused on improving these boats. The Selenes are awesome. If you haven't seen one, you need to get on one. We're here at Anacortes the last day. We've had kind of rainy, gray days, but we've had great people aboard. We'll be at all the TrawlerFests. The next TrawlerFest is Baltimore in September. We'll have a new 60 Classic there, as well as a new 54 Classic. So come see a couple of our new boats. They'll be the first new boats in the U.S. in quite a while.
Wayne, thank you so much. This has been a real privilege to get aboard this stunning 60 from Selene, and we are going to have all the links to your contact information, links to more information on the boat in the description. Leave comments for Wayne, leave comments for us. Let us know what you think of this incredible expedition yacht, and we will see you in the next video.
Thanks. See you on the water.